As SUPP to go all out to engage with the youth, part of a human leg was discovered in Cebu. A number of AIDS cases in Malaysia on the decline. Those are our headlines for tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Douglas Elliott, and this is TVS Nightline. Sarawak United People's Party SUPP will go all out to engage young people as the 15th general election GE15 will be a challenge in light of Undi 18 and automatic voters registration coming into effect. SUPP President Dr. Sim Kui Han said SUPP needs to increase their efforts in approaching the younger generation who will be the leaders of the future.
In that regard, Dr. Sim said SUPP must also start looking at the year 2027 as he believed that more new seats will be expected. During the 2018 election, SUPP won only one of the 7 parliamentary seats contested by SUPP. The oldest political party in Sarawak had lost to the Democratic Action Party DAP in Kuching City, Stampin, Sarikei, Lanang, and Cebu, and to the People's Justice Party PKR in Miri. Meanwhile, in the 12th-state election, SUPP won 13 out of the 18 seats contested, many of which saw multi-cornered fights against opposition parties, namely Parti Sarawak Bersatu, Democratic Action Party, and Parti Keadilan Rakyat locking horns with each other.
Deputy Chief Minister Dr. Sim Kui Han has called upon SUPP members to set aside their self-interest for the sake of the party. The SUPP president said in order for the party to transform, it requires meritocracy and the effort of everyone involved. Dr. Sim added that in order for the party to remain relevant, it has to adapt to the needs of the people. Speaking at SUPP Annual Delegates Conference 2021, he also reminded members not to repeat the party's internal crisis, but to take heed of its past lessons. In light of the Undi 18 initiative, the Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government also noted that the party needed to work hard to reach out to young voters in order to groom the next generation of leaders. In a 12th-state election, SUPP won 6 seats, namely Bukit Asih, Palawan, Opar, Tanjung Batu, Kota Sentosa, and Pujut. Dr. Sim urged the newly elected SUPP representatives to serve the people with sincerity. The heavy traffic congestion along the SAMARAHAN-Kuching Expressway has worsened in recent months and caused additional commuting time and frustration to road users. Setakan Assemblyman Dato' Hamzah Ibrahim has called upon the relevant authorities to solve the matter as soon as possible. According to Hamzah, the situation worsened due to upgrading work along the SAMARAHAN-Kuching Expressway.
Isu kesesakan Kota SAMARAHAN adalah antara satu isu topik yang panas kebelakangan ini. Tapi untuk makluman semua, apabila sesuatu pembangunan masuk dalam satu kawasan, khususnya dalam apabila satu jalan raya baru yang hendak dibina, kita tidak dapat mengelakkan aspek kesesakan sebab itu adalah proses setiap kali ada construction mesti ada kesesakan yang tidak dapat dielakkan. Walau bagaimanapun kita telah berbincang dengan pihak-pihak berkenaan, pihak-pihak yang terbabit termasuklah pihak MPKS, pihak JKR, pihak-pihak agensi yang terlibat. Saya sebelum ini telah berjumpa dengan mereka, khususnya pihak JKR, pihak kontraktor. Kita duduk bersama, berbincang, kita lontarkan pandangan, cadangan dan sebagainya. Dan hasilnya sebelum ini apabila kita berbincang, mereka khususnya pihak JKR dan kontraktor telah melihat benda ini sebagai satu benda yang serius. Jadi mereka akan cuba untuk mencari jalan. Malahan saya sendiri begitu serius dan mendesak supaya pihak-pihak berkenaan mencari jalan penyelesaian untuk mengurangkan. Kita tidak boleh menghilangkan kesesakan, tapi kita cuba untuk mengurangkan kesesakan yang ada, khususnya di jalan SAMARAHAN Expressway dan juga di jalan Datuk Muhammad Musa.
There is no ban on the sale of pork and pork products in Saraki district, even though African swine fever or ASF was detected among the pigs reared in the backyards. The Department of Veterinary Services, TVS Sarawak, has assured that the public that the pork sold in the market are slaughtered from healthy pigs and sourced from ASF-free areas. TVS Director Dr. Adrian Susan Ambud added that there is no mass culling of pigs in Saraki district. On the other hand, he stated that if there is an abnormally high mortality rate in pigs, farmers must tighten farm biosecurity and hygiene and report to TVS Sarawak. Following the detection of ASF among pigs reared in backyards in Saraki on January 13, a massive 5-day disease prevention operation had been carried out in Saraki district. And to ensure a successful operation, the department had called for close cooperation among all parties, be it pig farmers, veterinary officers, and members of other agencies. And continuous heavy rains since Saturday have caused several low-lying areas in Surian to be submerged in water. According to Sarawak Fire and Rescue Department Assistant Director Henry Ardiman Shah, the flood water has since subsided.
Hendari added, flood monitoring and patrol were carried out at several at-risk villages on Sunday morning, namely Kampong Krusen Siu, Kampong Hulu, and Kampong Hilir, Surian.
Dan walau bagaimanapun, hasil tinjauan dan pemantauan oleh Balai Bomba Surian mendapati keadaan air menurun dan telah kembali pulih. Dan kita amat berharap cuaca yang walaupun mendung dan hujan-hujan berterusan ini tidak memberi kesan yang buruk kepada negeri Sarawak amnya dan kepada beberapa daerah-daerah lain yang dijangkakan akan menerima hujan lebat. Secara amnya, pasukan bomba sentiasa memantau dan juga berjaga-jaga dan sentiasa berwaspada terhadap kenaikan-kenaikan air dan juga mengambil peduli tentang laporan aduan daripada penduduk tempatan.
Nonetheless, no temporary relief center PPS has been opened so far.
Sarawak stands to benefit from Indonesia's latest new industrial estate in Borneo. The estate aims to use hydropower for plants producing items including semiconductors, lithium-ion batteries, solar panels, and aluminium products. Indonesian President Joko Widodo said the estate will spend 30,000 hectares and include investment from China and the United Arab Emirates. He added that by establishing manufacturing industries, Indonesia will be able to create massive jobs availability by taking advantage of Indonesia's rich natural resources such as nickel, bauxite, and copper, so that the country can move up the value chain and not just export raw materials. Meanwhile, Sarawak Business Federation Secretary General Jonathan Chai said, since Sarawak is located near to Kalimantan, the state will receive tremendous economic spillover from Indonesia's plan to move its capital from Jakarta to Kalimantan. As such, he said that this is an opportunity for Sarawak to offer and introduce its clean energy expertise, similar to what it has done with Bakun and other hydropower plants.
Dah jumpa? Kau sure?
Boleh.
Nya nang jaga kami lah, nang isteri. Semua tanggungjawab sebagai isteri nak pula betul. Sangat bernilai. Nak jaga rumah tangga. Sayang, insya-Allah kami harap hubungan kita tu til jannah.
Dia pun harap semua juga lah. Hubungan kedua bahagia di dunia dan akhirat.
Saksikan Merami Cinta hanya di TVS, saluran 122 Astro dan MyTV.
Vaksinasi adalah langkah pencegahan bagi memutuskan rantaian COVID-19. Vaksin perlu melalui 2 peringkat kajian sebelum diluluskan penggunaannya. Pertama, kajian praklinikal vaksin di peringkat makmal merangkumi ujian sel kultur dan haiwan. Manakala peringkat kedua, kajian klinikal vaksin yang membabitkan manusia dan merangkumi 3 fasa. Fasa pertama, kajian membabitkan puluhan sukarelawan untuk mengetahui kesan tidak balas dan keselamatan vaksin peringkat awal. Kedua, kajian terhadap ratusan sukarelawan untuk mengetahui tahap keselamatan secara mendalam serta keperluan dos vaksin. Dan fasa ketiga, kajian melibatkan ribuan sukarelawan untuk mengetahui kesan sampingan yang jarang berlaku serta tahap keberkesanan vaksin. Bagi kelulusan vaksin, pihak berkuasa regulatory farmasi negara akan meneliti keputusan kajian klinikal sebelum vaksin diluluskan.
Welcome back. Part of a human leg that was discovered in the parking lot near a cemetery in Jalan Bukit Lima shocked residents around Cebu on Sunday morning. Acting Cebu District Police Chief, Superintendent Dr. Colin Babat said a team of police members from the Lanang Police Station and Cebu Criminal Investigation Department rushed to the location to conduct an investigation at 8:30 a.m.
He said part of the left leg was found by an employee of a nearby scrap metal store who then made a police report at the Lanang police station. Upon receiving the report, K9 tracker dogs were mobilized. The K9 tracker dogs managed to find a black plastic bag near the cemetery, in addition to a hole that had been dug. Colin said it was believed that the leg was put inside the plastic bag and buried at the cemetery, but was then presumably dug out by a dog. Further investigation found that the leg was believed to belong to a diabetic patient who had to undergo amputation previously. The body part was then brought to Cebu Hospital for further action.
Meanwhile, a 56-year-old woman was allegedly decapitated by her own son at Kampong Baru, Pasir Penambang on Saturday evening. Kuala Selangor OCPD Superintendent Ramli Kasa said the unemployed 28-year-old suspect committed the crime in the living room of the house.
Ramli added that the victim's daughter saw bloodstains all over the house, and the suspect, who was shocked by the presence of his sibling, fled into a bush area behind the house. The police, with the help of the villagers, successfully apprehended the suspect who was hiding in the bushes, and further investigations have been carried out by the forensic team. Ramli said police also seized a machete, believed to be the murder weapon, from a toilet in the house. The suspect tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine, he said, adding that the police had obtained an order from the Kuala Selangor Magistrates Court to remand him for 7 days. The case will be investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code.
Now, there are no correlation and scientific evidence that the COVID-19 Omicron variant helps to build herd immunity. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said such reports have not even been proven valid and warned the public not to voluntarily get infected. Khairi was commenting on recent reports, quoting South African virologists, that the Omicron variant can help build herd immunity in societies due to its high transmissibility. He thus advised the people to get their COVID-19 booster shots instead as a form of protection.
Message Kementerian Kesihatan mudah saja. You do not want to catch COVID, full stop. It doesn't matter, dia tak kira variant apa, Omicron ke, Delta ke, Alpha ke, Beta. Jangan sengaja nak dapat COVID. Sebab yang pertama, kita tak tahu kesan COVID itu kepada orang yang telah dapat COVID, sama ada dia vaccinated ataupun tidak. Ya. Yang kedua, kita tak tahu kesan long COVID. Hari ini mungkin kita kata Omicron ni lebih mild daripada Delta. So why not kita semua dijangkiti dengan Omicron. Kita dapat immunity kelompok dan sebagainya. Tak terbukti lagi. Kita tahu mungkin Omicron milder. Okay, fine, alhamdulillah. But doesn't mean that you should go out there and get Omicron.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health on Sunday recorded 3,010 new COVID-19 cases. The latest number represents a decrease of 64 cases from the 3,074 new infections recorded on Saturday. This brings the cumulative number of COVID-19 cases in Malaysia to 2,808,347. And Malaysia is on the right track to achieve its aspiration to end AIDS by the year 2030. Health Minister Khairy Jamaluddin noted that the new HIV cases in 2020 dropped to 3,146 cases compared to 20 years ago. This signifies a drop of 66%.
According to Khairy, Malaysia once recorded the highest number of new cases in 2002 at 6,978 cases per year, or at a rate of 28.5 cases per 100,000 population. In comparison, new cases stood at a rate of 9.3 cases per 100,000 population in 2020. He noted that HIV infections among those who injected drugs via contaminated needles or syringes once accounted for over 80% of the total number of reported cases.
Kita berada pada landasan untuk mencapai aspirasi tersebut. Namun kita tidak lepas dari menghadapi cabaran kerana perubahan landscape transmisi jangkitan dari penagih kepada jangkitan seksual. Dr. Christopher mentioned just now, if previously it was those yang menggunakan drugs or intravenous drug users, now the transmission for HIV/AIDS is sexual nature. Kajian integrated biobehavioral yang dilaksanakan tiap-tiap 3 tahun oleh Kementerian Kesihatan telah menunjukkan peningkatan kadar jangkitan di kalangan sexual transmission of all types. Situasi ini memerlukan komitmen serta respons yang inovatif dalam menurunkan jangkitan melalui transmisi seksual.
Earlier, Khairy officiated the national level ending AIDS through the Go NGO Smart Collaboration Model KK 2.0. He also noted that the administration of antiretroviral drugs or ARV to people living with HIV has also increased from 28% in 2015 to 58% in 2020. However, the figure is still low compared to the 95% target in the effort to eradicate AIDS by 2030. Malaysia has outlined a 15-year plan to end AIDS by 2030 through the National Strategic Plan for Ending AIDS 2016 to 2030. The government has also been offering free HIV treatment in hospitals and health clinics nationwide to address the issue. Khairy added that in 2022, the government had allocated 7 million ringgit to the Council for NGOs to implement a comprehensive HIV prevention program.
And following that, negative stigma amongst members of society towards drug abuse and addiction is one of the factors that prevent those involved from seeking professional treatment and help for their problems. Health Minister Khairy Jamaluddin said the matter was raised following the approach used by non-governmental organizations, especially the Malaysian AIDS Council, which to some extent has succeeded in changing society's perception of those living with HIV/AIDS.
He added that through the launch of the initiative, his ministry, in collaboration with NGOs, has also gone to the field and provided exposure to the vulnerable in particular so that information on risks and treatment can be disseminated. This initiative allows NGOs to also operate in health clinics to help strengthen programs to reduce harm amongst HIV/AIDS patients. The Pandamaran Health Clinic in Klang has been selected to implement the program in collaboration with the Malaysian AIDS Council. He explained that with the empowerment of the community and NGOs, the Health Ministry hopes to eliminate AIDS in 2030 through the National Strategic Plan for Ending AIDS 2016 till 2030.
The Social Security Organization, or SUPP, has so far paid out 1.3 million ringgit in compensation benefits for 764 accident cases involving food delivery riders nationwide. Deputy Human Resource Minister Dato' Awang Hashim said the payments covered temporary and permanent disability benefits, medical expenses, dependent as well as funeral benefits. Due to this, the Ministry of Human Resource urged individuals who are self-employed as food delivery workers to contribute to SUPP so that their welfare and that of their families are guaranteed. Awang said the process of getting the related claims for delivery workers after they contribute to SUPP would take less than 2 and 3 months. In addition, he said the ministry has targeted that at least 30% of the 2.38 million people who are self-employed nationwide would make contributions to SUPP this year. And so far, 15.03%, or over 358,000 individuals, are already SUPP contributors.
Jom bersama saya Khairul Nizam Naha mengembara dan meneroka keindahan alam di bumi Kenyala.
Mengambil masa 1 jam 30 minit depend dengan kita orang fitness.
Banyak jalan tu ni ada ni kiri-kiri pasal baru tu ni.
Setiap Isnin jam 10.30 malam hanya di saluran 122 Astro dan My TV. Jom ninjau.
Welcome along to the Paula Mala Ali Show, coming to you from our little country. This is a big show with a lot of heart. We got family, food, fitness, fashion and fabulosity. Join me as I share with you my little Brunei. Only on TVS Astro, Channel 122 and My TV.
Organisasi komersial boleh didakwa jika pegawai atau kaki tangannya memberi dan melakukan rasuah untuk mendapat sesuatu projek. Malah pengurusan syarikat turut boleh didakwa di mahkamah atas kesalahan yang sama. Pesalah akan didakwa di bawah Seksyen 17A Akta SPRM 2009, kesalahan rasuah oleh organisasi komersial. Denda tidak kurang 10 kali nilai suapan atau RM1 juta mengikut mana yang lebih tinggi atau penjara tidak lebih 20 tahun atau kedua-duanya sekali.
Thank you for staying with me. Now, there were no official reports of injuries or deaths in Tonga as yet after the Pacific island nation was hit by tsunami triggered by a massive undersea volcanic eruption. However, New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said communications with Tonga were still limited as the eruption cut off the internet and phone lines to the whole country. Several coastal areas of Tonga were still uncontactable.
I know many of you will have seen the footage and found it deeply concerning. Since then, the New Zealand government has been urgently attempting to gather information about the situation on the ground in Tonga and the Pacific, as well as issuing local warnings relating to strong waves and surges on the New Zealand coastline.
In addition, powerful waves from the eruption also damaged boats on the New Zealand coast. An underwater volcano off Tonga erupted on Saturday, triggering tsunami warnings and evacuation orders on the shores of Tonga as well as several South Pacific islands. Internet and phone lines went down at about 6:40 p.m. local time on Saturday, leaving the 105,000 residents on the islands virtually uncontactable.
The main undersea communications cable has been impacted, likely due to the loss of power, and that is why communications have been limited. Telecommunication authorities are working urgently to restore communication. Official damage assessments are not yet available. However, our High Commission in Tonga advised the tsunami has had a significant impact on the foreshore on the northern side of Nuku'alofa, with boats and large boulders washed ashore. Shops along the coast have been damaged and a significant clean-up will be needed. Nuku'alofa is covered in thick film of volcanic dust, but otherwise conditions are calm and stable.
Meanwhile, Greece's Aegean island of Samothrace was buried under meters of snow on Saturday, with firefighters being called to rescue villagers trapped in their homes. Temperatures dropped to 3 degrees Celsius during the day and -3 by evening. Streets, village houses and ports disappeared under a white blanket of snow as the fire brigade and local authorities scrambled to clear the roads.
Μεταβήκαμε σε απεικνοβισμό ατόμων από σπίτια. Παρέχαμε πρώτες βοήθειες σε άτομο που ήθελε ανάγκη σε ένα χωριό στα Αλόνια. Τον πήγαμε ένα γιατρό εκεί πέρα. Σε μερικά σημεία που μάζευε το χιόνι, γιατί είχε πάρα πολύ αέρα, είχε 11 με 12 από φόρ, ρηπές ανέμου, το χιόνι είχε ξεπεράσει και τα 3 μέτρα.
The island mayor told local media he had not seen much snow in 15 years, while difficulties arose in clearing the narrow village streets of the island as shovel trucks could not fit through. The cold front that has swept through Greece in the last few days has caused temperatures to drop, heavy winds and snowfall and rainstorms, causing rivers to overflow in some regions. Firefighters have responded to calls to pump out flooded homes, remove fallen trees and rescue people trapped in their homes, particularly in northern Greece.
And wrapping up TVS Nightline, as Cairo felines finally have a warm place to sleep in the cold winter months. The upcycled mobile shelters, which were made out of old tires, aim to protect the animals, especially when the weather changes.
Eco-friendly artist Ibrahim Abogandi is creating these prototypes to be distributed in various locations in the busy streets of Cairo, as the country has been witnessing changing weather conditions in recent years.
ان هم في ظروف قاسيه جدا زي ما احنا شايفين الثلج بدا ينزل في مصر والتغيرات المناخيه اللي بتحصل مع المطر او مع الثلج اللي بدا ينزل في الغردقه واسكندريه. ده ريسبونس احنا بنحاول نسبق الاحداث عشان كلاب الشارع وحيوانات وقطط الشارع وحيوانات الشارع عامه هيبقوا مهددين جدا بتغيرات الطقس لان محتاجين يبقى في عزل حراره حتى لو 10 ل 15 درجه هيفرق معاهم جدا يعني.
The mobile shelters are designed to fit in an urban setting made of upcycled car tires that are thermally insulated as well as other recycled material like wood.
بالتصميم ده هنقدر نقول ان احنا وفرنا مسكن امن معزول حراريا ل5 قطط في حجم مش كبير ان انت تحطه قدام بيتك او في او كده. وده البروتوتايب الاقل يعني تعقيدا. لسه ممكن نضيف اوبشنز ثانيه مع تطوير ان ازاي تقدر انت تحط لهم اكل ويتوزع على الخلايا او الرومز دي بتساوي عشان ما يتخانقوش مع بعض. وده كله هيبقى بيزد اون الفيدباك اللي احنا هناخده من القطط نفسها ومن الناس اللي في الشارع ومن الناس اللي هيساعدونا بان هم يكيب اليونتس دي عندهم في البابليك سبيس الخاص بيهم، يعني مساحه شخصيه بس نفس الوقت في الشارع.
Users can order the units or donate to manufacture them to be put in streets. Donations from outside Egypt are also accepted through the project's website. Rare snowstorms have been hitting the coastal cities of Hurghada and Alexandria this winter, with Egyptians reporting lower temperatures in Cairo and other cities in recent years.
And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. For the latest development, head to our website TVSTVMY or follow us on our social media. Once again, I'm Douglas Elliott. Thank you and have a good week ahead.